you.
Yes. Oh, if you bring that closer to you, we can hear you. We're not gonna be able to see your table as great.
Oh, we are ready.
Well, you know what? Give us a.
Sit down.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
I love the caftan.
For the Kodjoes. I don't know what the caftan is.
Wait, let's give a real shout out for the caftan. This is silk. It is
I don't know
from
what a
Ghana.
caftan is.
It is Rosario Dawson's company, Studio 189.
Love that.
So,
I love Rosario's fellow
Shout
New
out
Yorker.
so why are you not standing up and showing it
Yeah,
to
let's
us?
do a spin.
Can we get a spin?
Let's get a Kiki Shepherd spin.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice caftan.
And the kids are here. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I watched it many times.
Who's that? There's no kids invited to date night.
Hi, Nico.
They're gone.
But Nico, play producer.
Pull me in and push me out in less than 5 seconds.
That's it.
If you guys can bring the camera a smidget closer, you'll look as good as us.
All right, bring the camera. You
Go,
you can
everybody go.
with the phone first.
Everybody
There
leave.
we go.
Everybody leave.
You're pulling the
Love,
phone.
love, love.
Oh my God.
Even closer.
Oh,
Yes.
Is that working? God.
Yes.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
We are so
This is our inaugural show.
mhm.
Tell them how you guys fell in love with us. Go.
Well, actually, let me just say
Okay.
Okay,
Let me
first
just
of all,
say this.
Wait.
the
First
Kodjoes
of
were
all-
our first
bring the
couple
camera.
Wait,
friends.
let Boris go first.
Bring the
Okay.
camera close. There we go.
There we go.
First of all,
Yes.
you, Chris Spencer, were the first person that I met in LA that actually would talk to me,
Oh.
shedding a tear.
I think we were at a basketball game and you stepped on my foot.
Yes, that
And I was like,
is
yo.
also.
You were like, hi. I was like, oh, okay, how you doing? My name's Chris.
You didn't mind that I couldn't speak English.
You spoke English. It was just broken.
It was very broken.
Yes.
And that was about 20 years ago.
Yes. Crazy, right?
Insane.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
And
Wow.
And I am actually the one who convinced you to get rid of your old girlfriend.
Hey! Jesus Christ.
So that your energy
Lock this down.
would attract this beautiful being that is sitting to your right. So
Yeah.
I'm taking full credit.
Wait.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
Oh, we're
I
supposed to
got
be
you again.
eating.
I'm getting you garlic noodles again. Don't worry.
Yes, no, he
Thank
did.
you.
I
He
get you the
did.
next one.
He did praise you. He loves you
First
way
of all,
before I
I
did.
want to give a shout out to you, Vanessa, for inviting us for this way overdue date night, this
Yes,
way overdue
yes.
friend night.
Literally.
To Marley, thank you for sending over the wine.
Yes.
Take
Right.
it
Oh,
on.
my God.
Thank you
That's the
for
kind of people we
the
roll
opinion,
with.
Marley.
That's what we roll with.
Yes. Yes.
Wait.
I put lashes on and everything.
Listen, if I would have glued my eyes shut, I would have had lashes on too. So,
Wait.
so when this is over,
I'll
can
put
I
the
get a
lashes on
tutorial?
Wait, let me see Sophie's last eyes.
Sophie's trying to take credit for putting
Let me see
lashes
her
on. Okay.
eyes.
Sophie had the whole that
Sophie put-
cat wig.
She
Sophie
put-
had a whole moment. Sophie's
Sophie, let me see your eyeballs.
no. She's fully
Yeah.
Cleopatra today.
I thought it was Melanie Fiona.
I like this. She's got the cat eye down. Like
You look so
Melanie.
pretty.
She's got the male cat eye.
So listen, let me tell you about when I saw y'all
Roger, Sophie, stop.
when I figured this out. So what she say?
She laughed.
So I came into the episode of Soul Food, right? And I remember Boris and I were chatting, and this beautiful, sleek.
Hey, kids, go take the dog. Take the dog. Get out. 2 hours.
Or you mean
Yeah.
Max is gonna walk that?
Let them see the real side of y'all.
Put the mask
so-
on and get out.
You getting good questions? Good. So number one on the call sheet, which was what Nicole used to call herself.
That's true.
6 words.
6 words. Number one on the call sheet.
Put down.
So I remember we were going to lunch, and we walked by, and she just kind of watched us walk off into the distance. I was like, I think she likes you. He's like, no. Were you married at the time?
You know what?
All the business.
Why are you putting all the business
All
in
the
the street?
business.
Well, he's talking about convincing me to break up with people. So anyway, she just kept checking you out. I was like, I think she likes you. He's like, no, that's the star of the show. I could never get her. Lo and
But you still
behold,
had hair.
we had hairlines.
Yeah, I think it was more of a hairline, babe.
No, we had hairlines. We could actually physically see hairlines.
You know,
Yeah.
we are so overdue for a hang that we could literally do this all night. Can we take some questions? Do you want to just go in? Just want to go in for some
Just go
guidance?
in. Let's go in.
Let's go.
Hold on, Bella, we're gonna do questions after.
I know some people might leave. Michael
Oh.
Blackson said, "Can I join? I have 5 wives."
Michael
Michael
Blackson
Blackson.
said.
Can I join? I have 5 wives.
Well, he's gonna have to pick one for date night because we've only
Well,
got 2 people on the
Boris
screen
is
at time.
African. Boris is Ghanaian.
Okay.
Boris is
All
half
right, so
Ghanaian, so.
Hi, Nico.
Okay, you guys, listen, this is too much traffic. You guys are gonna see the real
Guys,
Spencers
go away.
and Kodjoes
Too
in a
much
second with
noise.
these
I'm
kids.
serious. Go
My
away.
man, we're doing a very expensive TV show, and you're walking all through the set.
This is the reality.
I know,
This is the
but
reality.
this
This
is
This is
reality.
real life.
we're
Late night
TV
quarantine
stars.
at home.
You don't see people in the background of TV shows.
Yes.
All right.
Shush.
So
Sorry, millions of fans.
this is how deep you know that it is. So when we got cutting to how these people came to be always brings me back to the night that I must have been 7 months pregnant, and we get a call at like, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and Boris is like, Nicole is in labor. It's go time.
Wow.
And we raced to the hospital. Can I say where? Does it matter now?
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So we raced to see
Kaiser.
the
Kaiser on La Cienega.
We raced. Don't say that.
Ow!
We raced to see
Marty
your
Hera.
timeline. And I think we proceeded to spend the next like
24
9 hours,
Yeah.
12 hours on the floor. And I just remember laughing because at the time our the manager that you and Boris had was just waiting for the commissary to open, not the
Money.
commissary, but the
Yes,
cafeteria to open because
Right.
he kept saying that the pancakes at Cedars were the greatest pancakes ever. And I'm like,
I'm
what
like,
are you talking about?
I remember he would bring dates to Cedars Hospital because the pancakes were so fantastic. I'm like, you're weird, Monty.
It was so funny. So yes, so I mean, we literally have been through a lot.
Right, we have kids the
together.
same age. We got married around the same time.
We
We couldn't
always
make your
had the
wedding.
same car. We always had
Right.
the same car.
You guys would always
Years
copy
ago.
us.
Right, right.
Our son was born on the same day you guys got married, which is the
Right.
only reason. I mean, I still tried to
Right
come, but
away.
she said you should probably be in the hospital with me.
Right. No, you
But
did.
I still tried to come
Actually,
to
Boris did ask, like, do you think that if it, like, maybe he could? And I was like, no, I don't think
Yeah,
that he
Boris,
could. Like,
Boris is so rude. He's like, I mean, you already done your part.
Right. I kind of like you there. And I was like, no, I get it, but
What are you gonna do?
Can-
So,
Guys, because everybody and their mom is on IG Live right now, should we get into it? Like, really get into it? Like, how long have you guys been married come May? Because we have the same dates for everything. We have the same
May
anniversaries. We have
is
the
not
same
our date.
kids.
May 20th is your date
Right.
because that's the day Christopher was born.
Right.
Our day is June 24th.
Okay, a month later.
Right. But 2000, we're 2006.
You're 5.
You guys are 2005. The same day as him. A
So
year
you're
and
going to be 14 years, and we're going to be 15 years.
Yep.
15 years.
So, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
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 And legally, like, we've been together since 03. I mean,
Don't say that.
Yeah, we've been together.
Well, it's out there.
We've been together like 18 years.
02.
I think we broke up last year, but we didn't know it.
right. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
That was one of the questions I
Wait,
had.
hold on. This is not a Corona cough. This is a laugh cough. I laugh and.
See,
Yeah, I kicked him to the curb last year, but it wasn't official. There was nothing.
Well, you couldn't
right.
kick him to the curb officially because you were in Chicago shooting a TV show. So wait.
Right. So, which makes me ask, because you guys so often spend so much time apart due to work,
Yes.
right? Like, Boris is fortunate to be able to shoot here in Los Angeles. So many of the plays that you've booked, Nicole, and
TV
series
series.
that you've booked have shot elsewhere, typically somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Obviously, Empire was Chicago.
The question is, have you been doing that on purpose?
No. Well, one, that's A, and two,
I think this is a
now-
really great exploration. Okay, in the beginning, I think that we had the same priorities. Like, we had kids right away. So the kids were the priority. It didn't matter if he was in Budapest shooting a movie. He came home. if it was the birthday party or the soccer game. When I'm in Chicago, I fly home even if it's for 2 days, right? So the kids were always the priority. But then it got kind of exciting in a marriage to we always missed each other, right? Like the travel was never a problem. I think as the kids moved into a different age group and we started to become brother and sister, like did you sign the permission slip for the field trip? No. Did you get the milk? Like we became business partners, that the travel became a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there's no absolute answer. I think in real talk, a marriage goes through phases and you got to just do that dance if you want to stay married. I mean, you know what I mean? If you want to stay married, you got to deal with the plateau. You got to deal with the fact that you haven't seen each other. You got to deal with the fact that I do fly home from Chicago and I still just want to go to sleep.
Right.
Right.
I don't like how Boris is in the corner. I don't like how Boris is quiet like Mike Tyson was in the Robin Givens interview. You're making too much noise.
Why don't you share your thoughts, honey?
Yes.
About distance, about marriage.
She's absolutely right. Everyone goes through phases.
Mm-hmm.
You become roommates. First you're in love.
Yeah.
And the
like
romance.
Really in love, like y'all was in love when we met you. Like we got stories for people who want to know.
Oh my God.
DM us. We'll answer the question. Honeymoon phase, although we didn't have a honeymoon, but that's another story.
Right.
And then, you know, your love just takes on different shapes and forms. You become roommates and business partners and parents and you coordinate and you chauffeur people around and you cook for people and you're the security guard and you have so many roles as a parent that sometimes this situation takes a back seat, which it shouldn't.
Right.
So it takes,
and there's no way around that.
It takes effort. Yeah. It takes effort and commitment to make sure that you don't lose each other in the process. Right. So you got to make sure that you reevaluate every once in a while and make sure that you're still each other's priority.
But sometimes y'all cussing each other out before it's before it's like, oh, I love you.
Right. Well, sometimes even when you're cussing them out, it's not that you don't love them. It's like, right now, this is my love language to you to get it together so that we can get back to the I love you and let's make out phase.
Especially if you're Puerto Rican.
Right.
Okay.
Right. If you're every island in the Caribbean.
And Cuban and St. Lucian. And
I'm all the islands that have all the spice.
And he's Jamaican.
That's why I'm in a
You're Jamaican.
state of private summer.
Huh?
You're Jamaican.
And you're Jamaican.
Yeah, but her island snuffed my Jamaican. Whatever spices are from her country, just looks at my curry and goes, go away. I can't hang.
So has it been hard being home in quarantine, Nick, because you're so accustomed to being away and moving a little more freely with your schedule, with work and what have you? Or have you enjoyed being back and kind of in that role of being needed all the time?
I love it. I love it. And I see the effect that it has on my kids. You know, like, mommy's home. There's nothing like it, right? So there's no driving me to LAX to kiss me goodbye. I'll be back in 4 days. Like, it's just every day, all day, and it's overdue. So that part's been really good.
That's great.
I love that.
And you know, we're doing all the things now that in terms of marriage that the books say, like take a walk together, read poetry to each other.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like we're actually doing
each
that.
other's feet. Yeah, no,
and it's nice.
What's been the hurdles of being quarantined that you guys have had to overcome?
Well, we take walks together.
Mm-hmm.
We read poetry to each other.
That's not a hurdle.
That's brilliant.
No. Look, it's fantastic. She's been gone for so long. It's fantastic. I mean, 24/7, we get to explore each other again anew. Right. We actually sit in the front yard in our beach chairs
because that's as far as we can go.
In the sun, and we enjoy just talking. You know.
Have you guys been able to work out? Besides just
Yeah, we got a
walking,
gym.
I
We
know you guys
work
are
out.
fitness nuts.
We got a gym. We do our COVID stuff every day.
Tell everybody about
Tell
COVID.
everybody
I'm sorry.
Yeah, tell everybody
Sorry?
about COVID and gym wraps and how you're keeping them braids tight. You know,
I try to lay my baby hair down for you guys today.
Mhm.
I see.
So pretty.
I see.
Well, I'm super proud of her. What she's done with gym wrap has been unbelievable.
It's amazing. And
it's-
tell us where
it's-
they're sold, Nick, and tell us can we direct
Well, you can go
order
to
now?
gymwrap.com. I created it for us to have a fitness tool in our toolbox, and just, my first thought was women of color we spend billions of dollars on our hair collectively, and we use our hair as an excuse not to take care of ourselves.
Well, because it also takes us billions of hours to do it. It's like a blow, a press, a set, or you're getting extensions and what have you. So
exactly, and it just took off, and I learned a lot as a businesswoman, as a female, like in this industry, and trying to, basically when I wanted to sell my product in a major retailer, I had to pitch to buyers just like everyone else. Like they didn't care that Boris was fine.
that wasn't enough.
They didn't care that I was on a TV show. Like I had to roll my little suitcase to Bentonville to pitch to Walmart just like any other vendor. And it was really humbling, and it's been an incredible experience. But the customer base has just grown because it really the product really did what I wanted it to do, which is not change the world, but change the way we face the world as women. That no matter what it is that we want to do, if we're mothers and wives and working and executives, that we still can go get our workout in and not sacrifice anything. So the gym wrap has really been a wonderful journey for me, and I'm just grateful that I'm still here because it's been rough. Yeah, and we're working on using some of the materials from the gym wrap to what you guys were talking about, getting some masks, making masks
Oh,
for
that's
some
genius.
of our first responders, and using proceeds from the sales to generate tens of thousands of masks for the people who are on the front line.
That's amazing. It's really great. Just to shout out Susan Lerner, who owns Michael Stars, and even our friend Jared Friedman, who owns Citizens for Humanity. They've converted their manufacturing companies here, which are all Los Angeles based, into creating masks. So, give them a lot of credit, and
As a matter of fact,
grateful that you're thinking of doing that because it's so needed.
Especially because starting tomorrow in Los Angeles, we have to wear masks.
Pay $1,000 fine.
Friday for midnight as a Friday.
There's a $1,000 fine.
$1,000 fine here in Manhattan Beach if you don't wear your mask to the store.
Now, does it matter what kind of mask? Does it have to be the N95? Can you?
No.
Just
begging
cover.
people
Just cover your
not
mouth
wear
and
an
nose.
N95 unless you're a
Yeah,
medical
wear
worker.
N95.
So any kind of cotton covering or any kind of mask to cover your face so that you're not expelling any droplets into the air is what they're looking for you to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So what are your kids doing all day?
Well, I don't know why this is.
There-
Did I block the screen?
Can you see us?
we can see
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
So where would you guys be right now had we not been quarantined?
That's a great question.
Okay, what day is it?
She would be in New York shooting her pilot right now if it wasn't for the team. I am on hiatus either way, so I'd be probably here or in New York with her.
He's asking relationship-wise, the deep love that we have for each other.
Yeah. Everything doesn't have to be about work, Boris.
You mean, I'm sorry.
He's
Actually, I
would
did,
be
but
doing,
I'm glad she made it go the other way.
It's Wednesday. I would be doing my lower body routine.
Hilarious.
What would we
Yeah.
be doing?
Okay, what are you missing the most in quarantine?
What would I miss the most?
Like now that you're quarantined, what are you like?
Well, why don't you give them your
longing to
answer?
do?
Give them your answer, because I know mine is golf.
Well, first of all, what I'm doing right now here. This is so much fun. We got to do this more often. Okay.
Because
So
he
from
wouldn't be
now
able
on-
to do that if we were on
Let's
quarantine.
just check his temperature.
Yeah.
I think he's got COVID because he's acting outside of himself. No,
No.
but imagine if you weren't
this
there,
is-
he
this
wouldn't
is-
be doing that.
Look,
He
this
doesn't get to do
has to be a priority, right?
Yeah.
This has to be it. like we have to do these kind of things more often, even without them.
Well, hopefully that you're doing it more often without us.
Yes.
Like,
Exactly.
Let's just be clear. We've
Like-
never swung.
So
We've never
let's put it
swung
this
and never
way.
been present.
The quarantine has afforded me the opportunity to be present all the time,
Yeah.
and not just physically, but be present here with my wife, for my wife.
Who's the
Because,
who's the more affectionate one?
We're kind of equal.
we both love affection.
Yeah, that's kind of our love language.
Yeah.
Who's more romantic?
But you know, you learn each other's love languages, and I know what she likes, and she knows what I like. So
He'll snuggle before a conversation. Like I'm like whatever the love language of communication.
Right.
Like if we just snuggled for 3 hours, that would be equivalent to my talking deeply for 3 hours.
Mm.
Mhm.
So do you find yourself having to trade off in those moments where you know he sort of needs less talk and more touch, and then maybe
Yes.
using that to your advantage in order to lead to that conversation?
And are you hugging her so she can talk less?
like hugging her like this.
Yes. Only
I
we
just,
can-
I just love spooning with you. Fucking spooning with you, boy.
No, look,
Oh my God.
look. I mean, that's what the journey is about when you're married, because you come
Yes.
to the marriage bringing all these patterns and habits from when you were a child, right?
Yep.
And that's how you learn how to communicate. I came from a really crazy background, grew up without a dad, and there was a lot of craziness. So you have to learn how to be there for each other, and learn from and about each other to meet somewhere in the middle in order to connect and engage with each other.
You know, it has real talk made us be a little deeper about, you know, I mean, it's the next 15 years that we're facing.
Right.
Like we're gonna not have kids. There's gonna be no more camping trip permission slips in about 4 years. There's gonna be no prescriptions and temperature taking, and you know, and we have to think about that. And we've been having those conversations. And I haven't been generating them. He's been generating them, which is really nice, right, Vanessa? When they go first.
Yes. To hear their needs, I think.
Yes, to hear
Yeah.
their needs. It's not
Yeah,
about
and I
just
think like
us
in a more
talking to you.
vulnerable way, like the fact that they can say it, because we all feel really vulnerable right now. And I think to see that them leading with that foot, and it's not just about, well, I've got to work and I've got to, you know, make sure that there's this done, and certainly in your relationship, it's a little more equal footed in terms of equally yoked where you guys are in terms of your career professionally. Like I will acknowledge I gave up my career in casting to stay home because I just felt like the hours were.
She's like, these Laugh Factory checks are gonna cash in.
Yes, exactly. They're gonna pay off. Eventually, they're gonna pay off.
I was like,
No, you know what? I
was
just
like,
felt like,
I might have to supplement this income over here because
yeah. Well, it just became this idea of like I didn't feel that that I was going this way. I felt like I had reached what I could reach there, and my interests were growing far beyond just casting, and it felt like there wasn't enough of a payoff staying there for me. So, you know, he was like, "Yeah, let's make that leap so you can pursue other interests." And you know, so I try and be really respectful to what his stress level is when it comes to work, and allow him that space to just focus and do his thing and manage everything else. So I always joke like, yeah, I know I do have a full-time job. I'm the CEO of all of this. I'm the CEO of dispensers, and I got this, I run this, and you've got the other side. And when I need to go swipe that card at the market, thank you very much. Like, this is you're the CFO, I'm the CEO, and we got this. So, you know, have you found that being home? Yes, I say all that to say, like, now that you're both home, are you feeling a little stressed about what this might mean? And since you both work in the industry as well, like, are you feeling a little uneasy about how we'll come out of this in our industry in particular, Or do you think because right now we're able to satiate people's need for entertainment, that there'll always be that need for entertainment and we'll be okay?
What she's
Well,
asking is, will there be an online version of Empire?
I think
okay,
that's
you go first.
it's interesting because there's going to be a lot of adjustment when we come back into our new norm, because it's not going to be the same as it was before, right? So I'm sure that there's going to be some adjustments that need to be made in terms of how content is created and how it's distributed. There's going to be, we've gotten a lot of calls from companies that are looking to do similar things that you're doing right now. You know, everything is social media based, digital. There's streaming platforms. So in terms of the atmosphere, yes, it's going to shift. It's going to change. What's also interesting is that the linear ratings, the TV ratings, have gone up.
Yeah,
Because people don't go anywhere. They're at home. So I'm sure that when we come out of this, the ratings are still going to be up for a while because people are going to be hesitant to get back out there the same way socially that they did before. In terms of the economy as a whole, obviously, if we're not in a recession when we come out, it's going to be something close to that. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be really hard for a while for people to have discretionary income to spend. So the belts are going to be tightened. People are going to look for jobs everywhere. So there's going to be some concessions to be made for sure.
Yeah. It's funny. I think I'm feeling a little optimistic about our particular industry solely because I think that in some ways networks are starting to realize that people are enjoying this opportunity to be forced to be home and slowing down. Yeah. And I think that they're going to ride that wave certainly until scene is out on the marketplace, for people to start feeling a little more comfortable headed into the lifestyle that they had pre-corona, or pre. So I don't know. I want to remain optimistic. I mean, certainly we were headed into somewhat of a recession prior to it anyway, where while people like to say we weren't, the wages were pretty stagnant, that some people were living well and others were not. So
I think
we'll see.
I think also I know you guys are only 27 and 35, but we're like 100. So I'm just like, thinking about my parents and we're married and we have a family and we have children that we want to provide for. But there's also, when you're in your 40s, you have another set of people to care for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with this routine, I worry about them, and I want to think about all the things that I want to make sure they're comfortable in these next 20 years, and 15 years, or however much God is going to give us with our parents. And I just want to make sure that we are able to do that financially as well, and that was the beauty of constantly working. You had overage, you covered your butt, you covered your family, you had a partner, and mom and pop were good too.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Have you guys do you guys know anybody who are directly affected, who gotten sick? Because I've had quite a few people that I know that have.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that got sick but got better.
I got sick.
Yeah,
a couple got sick. One or two passed away. Oh, these are our questions. Thank you, daughter. Yeah, but for the most part, a lot of them got better.
We have overcome so much generationally. We've passed down this resilience that we think that we're indestructible as a people.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just had this argument with somebody. They're like, we could get through this. We got through slavery. I'm like, not all of us. You know what I mean? Not all of us got through the civil rights. Not all of us got through all these situations where, there was a foot on our neck. So we can't just be willy-nilly about the situation. We have to actually take safety precautions and do whatever.
And also we need to shed light on the fears that we still have in our community about, I have people in my family with degrees who will not go to the hospital because they are afraid.
Right.
You're going to get sicker if you go to the hospital. They're not going to treat me right if I go to the hospital. women are going to sit there in pain and nobody's going to offer them pain medication in the hospital.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so much that we have to like be advocates for ourselves to change this dynamic. Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the reason why we as women of color are at a rate giving birth, and it's 2020. I mean, like these are real facts. These are real things. So as we get closer to the questions, we've got 2 more segments. I've got 2 more questions for you, and then 1 quick little segment, and then we'll get to the questions.
I know a lot of people want to talk about having teenagers, and a lot of people want to talk about having.
Turn off that.
Definitely. So quickly, when we come out of this, what is the one thing you're most hopeful about, and what is the one thing you fear the most coming out of this? Coming out of and back into what is closer to a normal.
What was the first one again?
Hopeful.
What are you most hopeful about, and what do you fear the most?
Okay.
Well, it's somewhat connected for me. I'm hopeful about us being smarter about putting people first over profit, which has always been a challenge with the United States. That's the first thing, and the second thing is the reverse. I'm fearful that we don't learn from this experience and we make the same mistakes over and over again.
Absolutely.
Mine is a little more personal. I'm hopeful that my children, the way they're connecting with me stays.
That's great.
Because these next 4 years are crucial. But they're going to start having relationships and choices, and
No, they're not.
Not mine.
Nope.
Our sons.
well, everybody who's watching who has a 13 or a 15 or a 16-year-old knows that you are holding your breath to see what you taught them if it stuck.
Yes.
And what is missing, and what can you provide them? So I just hope the closeness that has been forged in these last 45 days stays.
Right.
And what I'm most fearful,
Yeah, you're right. They've been really affectionate. Have you guys noticed that?
I mean,
or talkative and
Yeah.
honest and like startlingly honest, like Mom.
yeah, it's funny. I think for me, again, because I work from home now. Everything I do is pretty
you're
much
used to
done
it.
out of the home. So I feel really lucky that it has continued. I think what I've enjoyed the most is watching them start to build that even more with him, because he's been working from home. He's here. And now he starts
have
to
their
see
dad.
all their little quirks and their habits and how we operate with one another. Can you not?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what the greatest thing for me has been. So the fact that we're home and we're cleaning and we're social distancing, we've had somebody who's come to help clean up and take care of us, right? Because when I'm gone and she's creating projects and
My
doing
sister
stuff.
wife.
We've had a nanny, helper, nanny, whatever.
I call her my sister wife.
But there is none of that. So now, like how we
She's
grew
not a
up,
whatever. She's
these
watching
kids-
right now, and she is not a whatever, Chris.
No, she's my
I'm
sister
just-
wife. She is like my
These kids now have real chores. So it was
Right.
frightening for them, but she made them clean the toilets the other day. And and they listen,
doing
which is something we grew up doing. This is their first time cleaning the toilet.
Yeah, like I think when they wanted to pass out when they saw me put my hands in the toilet and tell them, make sure you get under the rim, like clean under the. They were
They
like,
had
what?
no
Yeah, that's
clue
okay.
what that
Let
was
me
like.
just explain something to you, okay?
Yeah.
This is what we did when we were little, and I was far younger than you doing this from my own house, from my aunt, from my grandmother, like whoever house I was staying in, I was cleaning their, even at sleepaway camp. So get to it. They do their laundry, one on Thursday, one does it on Friday. I mean, like, this was really the moment where they've been good about helping around the house over the years, but now this was like,
right.
No, let me explain something to you. With you, Christopher, I've got 3 more years to get you ready for college. Bella, you're just behind that. Let's get started now. And
Right.
I gotta say, like, it's
They've been
been
cook-
lovely.
Bella's
It's
been
been
cooking.
lovely watching them step
Nico
up to the
too.
plate to do it on their own.
Nico's cooking?
Yeah, Nico's cooking. And see, the thing is,
Sophie's been cooking, but Nico's cooking.
they're doing
Really?
online school, which they've done for 6 months now. So it allows them to take care 4 months, which allows them to take care of these things. You know, they have to make their beds, they have to clean their room, they have to clean their bathrooms, especially Sophie because she's taking over the bathroom, right? So she has to clean the bathroom. They have to, you know, when they cook, they got to clean up.
Yeah. My rule in this house is if you want to eat and you want to cook, then you got to clean. And if you can't do that in that order, then you can't do. Like the kitchen
Absolutely.
is closed.
Let's
So,
hear from some of the
and
folks
thank you,
out
Gordon
there.
Ramsay
Yes.
and Chopped and all of these other shows because I think my kids are like very inspired.
All right, we're gonna take some questions.
Animals.
We're gonna take some questions.
Okay.
Do y'all miss being single?
Wait, where are you going, Boris?
I'm just getting crackers.
He just
Yeah.
happens to need to get a snack now.
He just
On the
ate
single question.
2 pounds of
On the
spaghetti.
single question. Do you miss being single?
I can answer.
Who's going first? Who's going first?
I'll go first. Absolutely not. All of my
Same here.
friends who are single, all my
They're
friends who are
miserable.
single are miserable.
They're miserable.
Now, let me not say all of them, but quite a few of them really, really, really wish they could have someone that they care about and someone that cares
Absolutely.
about them. Like when you're in your 20s, early 30s, it's like you like this freedom. But when you get to our age, this is where I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like if I was to write the story about who Chris Spencer is going to be when I was in my 20s, at 52, I was supposed to be right here. Yeah, Boris, beat that.